Hello everybody, Matt Check, PGA Teaching Pro here at the club, coming to you with week one recap video of Jimmy Harrison I's Scoring Academy. I want to thank the 16 members who signed up, and I want to go over the pitching fundamentals that we talked about in our week one class. The first thing we need to address is using a club when pitching that has some bounce. So that's going to be a 52-degree wedge up to a 60, something in that range is going to give you a little rounded flange on the bottom so we can activate the bounce and use a pitch shot. Now, the bounce is just the rounded portion of the bottom of the club. It's kind of the angle that it goes from front to back up. That's going to be the amount of bounce we have. And that's our safety net. So if we can kind of set the club down on that bounce or activate the bounce, I showed you guys that you can always do it by resting the grip on your backside and then moving it up to the ball. If we use that bounce, we have a safety net. We don't actually have to hit the ball perfectly. We hit a little behind it. We just got to slide up under it. When we set up for a pitch shot, kind of the keys we want to do is once we get the bounce activated on the ground, we want to then grip it and move it to the ball, never in front of the ball with a pitch shot. That's going to make it very tough to get the club kind of squared up. Maybe a little bit in front, but nothing crazy in front. We also don't want to do a pitch shot in the back of our stance. That would be more of a chip shot. So a pitch shot is a shot that flies more than it rolls. And we have a safety net. So there's two good things there, that you don't get a whole lot of roll. You can land it on those fast greens and hold the green. And we're going to talk about the main things that we saw in the lesson were, number one, feet were too wide. We're not hitting a 7-iron. When we're pitching the golf ball, we want to get the narrow stance that's going to kind of narrow in our low point so we don't have to worry about hitting too far behind or in front. So 1 to 2 club heads of the heels is a good barometer on how wide of a stance to have. Next thing is to flare the front toe to really aid in the number 2 fault that we see most often, which is somebody who doesn't continue to have the grip roll through the shot. The grip should get through the shot and stay fulcrumed or pointed at the left hip. That's going to make sure that we're turning through, maintaining the same amount of bounce throughout the shot, hitting the same window every pitch shot. So when we set up and we hit a pitch shot, notice my finish here. I was able to get the back heel off the ground. It's almost imperative that we get a pretty good turn through it. Now, it's not necessarily hip turn, it's more chest turn. So I like, as a drill, is to always to take some practice swings and tuck that sleeve under your front armpit and get the feeling of what it's like for the chest to go with the arms. When the club head stops, it should be because the chest stopped. We don't want any runoff. Any reverse course of this grip is going to cause a bunch of inconsistencies. So when we're pitching the golf ball, we're going to have that slightly narrow stance, front foot flared, the ball somewhat in the front of the stance. We're going to activate that bounce, and we're going to go about the same distance back, same distance through as a barometer for length of swing. As we watch it again, activate the bounce. We want to have weight centered on the ball if the ball's in the front, so our weight's going to be pretty far forward. And we're going to go same distance back, same distance through. Also, talking about, it's okay to start kind of low and to come up a little bit through the shot. We don't ever have to really feel like we're staying down as we go through. It's really hard to turn if you stay down. So you'll see the best pitchers in the world, they actually come up a little bit as they pitch it. Okay? Keeping the body moving through the shot is going to help you pitch the ball much more consistently out the same window, same height every time. That's going to help us draw those dots for us. Dot 1 being the ball, dot 3 being the intended target or hole. We're always looking for dot 2. We're going to land it right on that dot whenever we can. We want that dot to be on the green closest to us as possible. That's going to be the easiest pitch shot for us. And you can choose clubs accordingly for each shot. Again, looking forward to seeing everybody next week, and I hope you enjoyed this video.